Madness Podcast! The best of the underground! Make madness your ritual!
Astronauts report a field trip, 295 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome. It's Ritual Edits Podcast. It's fucking Friday. Thanks for joining us. Do me a favor. Check out. Hey, Lowbrow Saints is about to open their doors on their new location here very shortly. I know I've been saying that for a little while here. They've been trying to get things figured out with all the zoning and all of the legal logistics of it all. So they've got fuck, what do? They inspect it. That's what they do. they have an inspection here really soon, so they should be open up their doors real soon. So please, just hang tight for these cats. Good folks, by the way. So Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, stay tuned on that stuff. Don't forget to check out the Shred Den. Hours Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. 9100 85th Avenue North, Suite 100, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, 763-350-2191. Look them up on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, or www.theshredden.net. If you're looking for some design work, Narwhal Design Solutions, Justin Boney, Facebook, Instagram, and the World Wide Web at Narwhal Design Solutions, Justin Boney at gmail.com. And please support our sponsors, man. That would be fantastic. This fine day, we have the band. What's your name? What's the name of your band? Red Vinter? How you guys doing? What's going on, fellas? What do you know? What's happening?
It's cold.
It is cold, isn't it? It's fucking ridiculous.
He's talking about his soul, not the
gotcha. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. We're clarifying there.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. It is cold outside, and the souls are cold in here. That's good stuff, too, man. I love it. Why don't we do me a favor, go around the table, tell me who you are and what you do in the band.
My name is Dylan. I play lead guitar.
Welcome.
Yep, and I'm Jay, and I play rhythm guitar.
Hey, Jay, how's it going?
Knock shit over.
Yep.
Was that
I play
there?
the drum. Oh,
Or was that there already? Did I not pick that up? Or what, was that there before? Oh, it was
just
yours?
me. Sorry.
It's all good. No worries.
can't take you anywhere. I'm James. I play the drums.
How's it going, man? Welcome.
Good.
And I'm Mike. I play bass and sing.
Sweet. Welcome, man. Let me see here. What was that first tune we did? We did Escape Velocity was the first one off of Lumbering Menace, correct?
Yes.
All right. And people can get that on any of the streaming platforms, correct?
Yeah, Bandcamp, Apple, Shitify, all those.
Oh, Shitify. Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
not,
a good
not
one.
a Spotify fan. Not even a little bit.
I don't think there is anybody really, is there? I mean,
I hope not.
obviously it gets you out there, but they don't pay you shit. They don't do nothing for you. It's ridiculous.
Well, and the guy's taking everybody's money to the bank.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I think there was a rapper guy that was trying to break it down. He was like, you could do, what is it? You get paid for 200,000 streams. You get paid like, it's stupid low. And he's like, you could sell your fucking disc
Kidney.
for $1 a piece, $1 a song, and still make money. Why wouldn't you do that instead of, you know what I mean? It makes no sense. But if you like the video, you can always go on YouTube. They do have fantastic videos on their Red Vinter YouTube channel, basically for every one of your guys' songs, right?
Well, there's 4 or 5.
We're working on doing another one right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's very cool. I was saying with the show earlier before we even got started, I was like, I appreciate it because I'm trying to up the production value of the show. So it's like I'm always trying to get moving pieces to it. I know it always fails. As you can tell, I'm super professional. I'm pushing the wrong button and got too many things going on all at once. It's kind of how my show's been going forever,
Bringing us in
dude.
to up your production value is
yeah,
like taking a trailer to Beverly Hills.
Well, that's awesome. Well, welcome, man. I appreciate you guys coming in to do the show. Let me see here. I like to ask people kind of their history with music. And we kind of talked about that to kind of get your minds going on it before the show. But what were you guys listening to? What were your folks, your brothers and sisters? What was the inspiration musically in your household as a kid?
So my mom was a huge classic rock fan, Led Zeppelin, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I could ever form the thought of I love blank. She was dancing around the living room with one of her friends to The Wizard from Black Sabbath.
Oh, yeah.
And it just hooked me. And I have just been a diehard metal guy ever since.
Yeah.
Something about that particular song just hooked me.
Dude,
And
it
that
really
whenever
does.
it comes on, I stop whatever I'm doing and I just catch myself just getting lost in the song.
That is one of those tunes, man. I mean, that harmonica comes in and it is fucking on, man. It is on.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic tune. That's a really, really solid, metal explanation right there. That'll drive you right in there.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I didn't really come from metal at all. The earliest music memories that I have are of the Oak Ridge Boys, Sha Na Na,
Okay.
Elvis.
Yeah.
So those
Bowser,
are the things.
right? That was the
Bowser
dude's name,
from Sha Na
Bowser,
Na.
dude.
Yeah. And then my mom and her
Old
twin
fuckers.
are huge. Yeah. They're huge fans of Elvis, right? So remember listening to that. My dad loved Chuck Berry, and then I didn't really get into metal until later on. It was probably I was 10 years old, and a neighborhood kid brought over this CD with this crumbling statue of liberty on it, and it said "And Justice for All," and I listened to that, and I was like, "What is this?" Right? And then
And where's the bass?
Yeah, I didn't know much about bass at that time, but
I never
no
did
justice for
either.
Jason.
I always loved that. I always loved that album, and I never really noticed it because it's so chunk heavy. Have you listened to it with bass?
Yeah, and there's one on YouTube. It's like "And Justice for Jason."
Yeah.
And it sounds proper.
Yeah.
Right. Like I mean, I love the thing I love about that album really is the change in how drum sounds were made on that sound, like the snare and the kick. And then from there, going to the Black Album, like the Black Album to me has like some of the best drum sounds, maybe not playing, but best drum sounds of any album out there, right? Like that bell brass snare and those big toms, like it was just fantastic sounding,
That album, the Black Album, is like that cursed album for me because, all the older stuff, if you're a metalhead, you covet that older stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Album, and I've said it a million times on here, and we'll say it a million more, but it was like all the jocks that I played football with. They hated them. If you put on Metallica back in the day, they'd be, "What the fuck is this shit? You can't
Master
understand it."
Puppets.
Yeah. We can't understand the damn word they're saying. And then I remember when that album dropped, and I seen them with Suicidal Tendencies and Danzig out at Float Right. And you seen all these meatheads with their fresh Black Album shirts on. "Chill, what's up, dude?" They're high-fiving me, and I'm just walking away like, "Oh, fuck you, dude." You know what I mean? Like, come on, Go back to all the old stuff. Well, how about you, fella? What are you thinking?
Oh, we're just talking about musical influences?
Yeah. Just what was going on, like what you're listening to as a kid, or what mom and dad were listening to as a kid?
My mom listened to a lot of Janis Joplin, and,
Yeah.
She came up in an era of, when, the Monkees were big.
Right.
I know a bunch of Monkey songs. I know it's hard to believe. But my dad listened to a lot of heavier stuff like Steppenwolf, and, that's how I got introduced to Black Sabbath. And another influence that I don't have the talent for is Zappa. He had every Zappa. He had a bunch of live stuff that Zappa would record himself and then release so people wouldn't bootleg it.
Yeah.
So I'd spend a lot of years out at our cabin, listening to live Zappa stuff
and that dude had like the next level players all the time, didn't he?
Bozio.
Yeah. And Vi, right?
Vi was there. Yeah.
That's so crazy to me. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like, how about as you were kind of experiencing as you got older? What were you dabbling into, or like were there friends around you that were pushing stuff towards you too?
Yeah, I mean, like James, I have the same story.
Yeah.
Where I really didn't know what metal was until, like I said, I would say the Justice album too. Where I had buddies, on the bus or guys I played sports with, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, what's this?
Yeah.
This is so good. I remember my next door neighbor, he was really into, heavy metal and all that, and, came from a rich family, so he got whatever he wanted. But anyway, so he went to these concerts, and he had, all the albums, Sabbath, Judas Priest,
Yeah.
But one day on the bus, he challenged me to memorize the name of all the guys in Metallica, and it took me like a month because I'm like, I don't know. I remember. I don't know why I remember this like 35, 40 years later.
Yeah.
But I still remember him, going through the names, and for some reason I could never say Newstead's name right. I always call him Newcomb.
Right.
Jason Newcomb, right? And he's like, no, that's not. I'm not going to let you listen to my Justice, cassette tape right now. I'm like,
If you don't get it right.
yeah, that was about it. That was
Name 3 songs or I'm going to punch you in the stomach.
Gatekeeping Metallica.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So that's my background.
Gotcha.
No, I'm gonna keep. It's unfortunate, but I have to keep the Metallica theme because my dad. I have fond memories of my dad with his giant speakers in the living room blasting the Black Album.
Yeah.
Playing air guitar as a little kid. And as I got older, like it kind of just took off from there. So like, I guess I'm the only or one of the different ones who had metal kind of in there. Like I was kind of in my life, my whole life.
Yeah.
But as I grew up, I kind of branched out on my own and got into Gojira, Mastodon.
Now,
stuff like that.
did anybody show you that, or what were the ways that you guys found the heavy stuff too? Like that's an addition to the question. Like we'll go around again. Like what were the ways that you were finding the heavier stuff? Like was it word of mouth? Were people like was the internet like heavy at that time? Where you're starting to see ads on shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the internet, especially when I got a little older in my teen years, was a big influence of that. But yeah, it was mostly friends, on the bus swapping burnt CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bootlegs and stuff, and going. My first big live concert was Trivium Gojira.
Oh, nice.
So that was
in a small venue too.
At Station 4.
Yeah. Solid bands in a tiny room. That's fantastic.
That was a big eye opener. That pushed me towards the heavier side for sure. Once that happened, it was like downhill from there.
The live aspect of that power just fucking.
Oh yeah. Oh, incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now, instrument wise, have you been playing a long time early in life? Did you pick up your instrument early?
It was like teenage years. I don't remember. My dad had a guitar in his closet that he never played, and he gave it to me for Christmas one year, and I just kept at it. And so by the time I started getting into metal, I had been playing for a few years. So
what were some of the things that you started playing?
I think my first song I tried learning was Pink Floyd's "Wish You Were Here."
Oh, nice.
That's still a good song.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It was a lot of like early songs I learned with like AC/DC, of course, Metallica, Master of Puppets, of course, stuff like that. Tool, trying to do Tool.
Yeah, weird patterns, right? Crazy patterns.
Just doing the easiest of Tool songs.
Snippets of it usually, right?
Yep.
How about you fellas? Like music, instrument wise, did you start playing early?
So when I was in junior high, I think, music class, and they pushed this whole big thing about you can learn to play guitar in music class.
Yeah.
So I signed that. You had electives, so I signed up for music class, and I go in there, and the teacher was really, really weird. His name was Mr. Khan, and he told everybody that his class was running under communism. And that meant whatever he said was what you did, and if he didn't like it, you got sent out.
Yeah.
So he finally breaks out the guitars after we'd been in the class for like 3 months, and I mean, they were like, I don't know, donated from the return bin at Sears or something. You could literally stick your fingers between the fretboard and the strings.
Yeah.
And I tried for like 2 weeks, and I was just like, this is just way too hard for me. Not realizing it was just a piece of crap guitar.
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, stupid teenager, and I'm like, this is too hard for me. So I got rid of it, basically flunked out of the class.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, there was a store near my house they sold music, but they also had some Aria Pro guitars. And so I saw one, and it was like one of those things that you see it every day or every couple days for like a year, and you just wish you could buy it.
Yeah.
And I finally saved up enough money. It was like, I don't know, $100 or something, which when you're a teenager, that's like, might as well be $1 million.
Right.
And I buy it, and I took it home, and I started trying to play, and I started getting halfway okay. And then these two guys moved to town, and they were brothers, and they were in a metal band already. And since they had moved from a different town, they left all the other guys they played with behind. And they get there, and they're like, hey, we're looking for people to join our band. And I was like, well, I've got a guitar, but I think I'd rather play bass. And the guy's like, I play bass. You should be the singer. I've heard you sing. And I'm like, what? And he's like, no, you should quit trying to play guitar and bass. You should be the singer. I'm like, okay, I'll be the singer. And then all of a sudden I was a singer in all these bands for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then I started playing guitar in bands later on in life. And then when James and I started Red Vinter, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to play bass.
Yeah.
So I put down my guitar and I went and got a bass. It took me, all
Yeah.
this time
Yeah,
to start
yeah.
playing bass.
Just go all the way to full circle, all
Full
the way
circle
around.
all the way back to
That's-
now I'm playing bass.
That's crazy.
So-
Now, drummer. Now, that's something you don't usually like just pick up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, so in fact, I started playing guitar. I bought my first guitar when I was 10 years old. Cheapo from Toys R Us.
All right.
Right? And I was 10 years old, so that would have been 1988. And started playing guitar. Then in the early 90s, when Nirvana exploded, that really like drove me to play it more and more. Bought a Mexi Strat in 1994, brand new for $129. Still have it.
Damn.
Nice.
But I played guitar. Then it was probably in my early 30s, I picked up the bass.
Yeah.
And started playing bass, and then put that down fairly quickly, and then kind of waited a while, and then I was. I was doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I had to stop Jiu-Jitsu. I had a hip replacement, so I couldn't, didn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need something, right? Like
Yeah.
I need a hobby. I need something in my life. And I looked at my guitar and I looked at my bass and I was like, I don't really want to pick these up again.
Yeah.
And so I look and, like there's an empty spot next to them. I'm like, well, I got to start hitting stuff. And so I literally went out, bought drums, started taking lessons, and yeah, I mean, by that point I was, fully grown adult, had my own house, could make noise in it when I wanted to. And
That's probably huge.
and, well, it is.
I mean, starting with drums too. You really got to kind of get after it.
Well, and the bad
Teach yourself
The
anyway.
bad part about starting drums, especially as an adult, is you can't hide how bad you are, right? Like with a guitar or a bass, you plug in that little headphone amp and you shut the door to the
Yeah.
office, and nobody knows how bad you suck.
Right.
With drums, if you open a window, everybody in a 400-yard radius knows how bad you suck.
Is that your kid playing drums? No, that's me.
No, that's my 40-something-year-old dad. And so you have to kind of embrace the suck, and you have to just be okay with that. And fortunately, I have very supportive wife and daughter, and they don't say too much about it. But it's really beneficial to have that luxury, because a lot of
for sure.
kids don't have that luxury when playing drums. They're really constrained and confined with the noise aspect of it.
That's also the name of our next album, Embrace the Suck.
Nice. you know what's crazy too, man, is there's a lot of all age shows that are popping up here and there, which is fantastic, man. Us old guys can't continue to fucking play this shit forever, But here's the thing: is like, I always if I ever do any of those shows, I've booked at Skyway and Lee's and all over really. I always try to stop and talk to those parents and say thank you, because it's like, they're just enduring the the shit we put our parents through. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Playing Smoke on the Water 800 times over and over. You know what I mean? Those easy riffs. I could have Nirvana riffs, man. If I was, you know what I mean? Like 100 times over, because it was popular. You know what I mean? Like Sabbath too. Oh my God, my wife was gonna kill me when I learned Iron Man on the bass, dude. She's like, "What is this?"
For whom
shit?
the bell tolls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Boo-doo-boo-boo. Yeah.
Exactly. My poor family has to endure me trying to learn Tool right now. Tool on the drums is
Yeah.
challenging.
Dude's no joke, man. He's a very talented drummer. Holy smokes, man. Dude's really good. How about you, sir? What did you start with your instruments? Did you
Jaw
start-
harp. Yeah, jaw harp.
Bim,
That's
bim,
exactly.
bim,
Yeah.
bim, bim.
Then I moved up to wash tub. No, I started playing guitar in high school. I had a couple buddies of mine who were a little older than me, who I met, when I was like 15, 16. And one played drums, the other one played like lead guitar. And they're like, and we like the same music. And they're like, oh, you should just play guitar. I'm like, I have no idea how to play, And that's basically how that happened. You know, I just like, you know, James's story. I saved up money, bought a little Squire Fender or Squire Strat, and you know, I still have that too. Its guts are all, you know, I'd have to
shit, yeah.
replace them, but I'm like, it's just in the closet.
You guys know how many guitar players though that have come on the show that have been like, "Oh, I bought this guitar back then. It was my favorite guitar. I hot rodded it, this and that," you know, and or they say again, "I have this guitar, the first one I bought, or like the first good one that I bought, and I've you know just have it sitting somewhere," or they're like, "I got rid of it and fuck, I wish I still had that thing," you know.
So the first killer guitar I got was a '94 Ibanez RG, and I kept it for like 20 years, played it tons of shows, all kinds of stuff, and then I sold it when I needed money to pay bills at one point, and I kicked myself for it. 5 years later, one of my buddies was like, "You got to get that guitar back." And so I actually tracked down the guy I sold it to, and he agreed that if I could find him one like it, he would sell me mine back if I gave him so I spent like a week hunting for a similar guitar and just happened to find one dirt cheap on Reverb.
Yeah.
And bought it and got it and cleaned it up and sent it to him, and he sent me mine back.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, like, were there any times like what was the thing that pushed you the most when you were playing? Like, what sent you to the next level as you were coming up playing your guitar?
Well, I mean, the first thing I'll bring up is, you know, I have two uncles who were great self-taught guitar players who I grew up, you know, they're just, you know, my mom's brothers, and they were both great jazz and blues players, still are today. They're in their 60s.
Yeah.
And, you know, once in a while they'll go trot out. And so when I started playing, I remember thinking about the things they did and the fact that they were all self-taught, so I kind of went with that same method. But because they were so good at blues and jazz, I was like, and I really liked metal. I was like, I'm just gonna go to metal. And it's the same. And it sounds ridiculous, but I've never tried to play a solo in my life because I was like, I'm never gonna be like Rick. I'm never gonna be like my Uncle Tanny. Like, these guys are just self-taught. They sit there and listen to, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan on vinyl. And sit there and figure it out with guitars and stuff. And I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna. And then, you know, I found my spirit animal in you know, Scott Ian, where I'm like, I'm just gonna chug it. That's what I'm gonna do because that's my favorite thing to do.
Right.
And I haven't changed in like 35 years. I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep doing this. We get you know, the dwiddly D's with you know, widdly wah. So I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead, take that spotlight. I have no desire, nor do I have any clue on how to do it. So, but
Well,
yeah, that was the push was again just having that up, you know, growing up that way, and then meeting some guys, and like I said, we all listened to, you know, the big 4 or 5, you know, and just learning songs that they were like, check this out. And I'm like, yeah.
Like pointing at you know, your reference point, you know, Scott Ian, for God's sakes, you know, if you look at all the bands that he's done, he is the force behind, you know what I mean? The rhythm of it all, you know what I mean? Like Dan Spitz, all the other guitar players that have come and gone, and any of his things, you know, fucking SOD and anything else he's done, you know, he's a sick guitar player. Solid rhythm, man, and a beast to watch. I actually, I actually saw an amazing photo that a local guy took of Scott Ian at one of the festivals, and he sold it to him for a high amount. And beautiful photo of him just flying with his V, just whipping up in the air with his legs flipped out real nice. And I was like, dude, when he told me how much, because I was wanting to be a photographer really bad, and I was like, how much can a guy sell a photo for? And he's like, well, here, you know, kind of scrolls through his phone and he shows me a photo of it. And I'm going, holy shit, that's a really good photo. I'm like, that's Scott Ian. Like, what did you get for that? And he was like, you know, 10K or more. And I'm like, holy fuck, crap, for a photo? And I'm like, what? How did that happen? And he said, well, it was the time he's writing a biography, you know? So he's like, he asked him what he was using it for. He said he sent it to the record label. Label turned him down for the photo. Like, they didn't want to use the photo, but Scott loved the photo so much that he like forced the label to use it. So that kind of a cool story. I don't know. Scott Ian shit. I love that. That dude kills it too. You hear the stories about Billy Milano calling him a twat, but it's still pretty awesome. You know? How about you, sir? Like, what was the start for music wise? Instrument-wise, I mean.
Well,
I thought we already talked about
Instrument?
well, we were talking about when like our level of musicianship got
Yeah, to the
up
next
to
next level. Yeah.
What comes to mind is a small town we lived in. We had a small guitar shop that had music every Saturday,
Mhm.
and we had a small group that would meet there every Saturday, and the local bands would come through. Some of the bands from the cities would come up and play there, and watching all the bands, local bands, seeing behind the scenes stuff
Mhm.
and saying like, oh, I could do this. Like it's a little more achievable than seeing a big show.
Right.
And then it wasn't until like my senior year of high school, like me and a couple buddies put together a band and played a couple shows with the bands who came by here and there, and that's when trying to write my own material for a band. That's when I like really was like, oh, maybe I should learn how to play better.
Right. Now, when it comes to that situation, and you guys in the writing process of it all, now I know my situation was different as far as being a vocalist. I feel like it was different than somebody playing an instrument. You know what I'm saying? When you're listening to a tune, do you break it down like, okay, they do this many this time, here? Do you break down the pieces? Do you dissect every song you listen to, or you just enjoy it musically?
Yes.
That's a great answer. Yes.
For me personally, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Like I'm counting.
Okay.
I'm counting the whole time, and I'm feeling, okay, it's triplet based. Oh, it's got a swing. No, it's a straight feel.
Right.
I'm
Now, do you now if you're counting, are you counting for just drums, or do you jump around?
right now. It's just drums.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Like in the past, it would have been picking out the bass parts. It would
Okay.
have been picking out the guitar parts. But right now, it's it's strictly focused on the drums. And,
Yeah.
especially since in the band, I'm like the least experienced at that particular instrument, right?
Right.
Like I started, my instrument later than everybody else. I have, a bit of catching up to do, or
Okay.
I felt like I had a bit of catching up to do. And so whenever I'm listening to anything now, it's usually a count, unless it's something, old that I've been listening to for
Yeah.
a long time. Because, I came up on a lot of the grunge stuff because I
Yeah.
was a teen in the early 90s. So
Sure.
if I'm listening to Alice in Chains or STP or something like that, there's not really any counting involved. It's really just more
Feel.
enjoyment.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But if
yeah.
I'm listening to Meshuggah or if I'm listening
Oh,
to
yeah.
Tesseract or Periphery
Right.
or something like that,
Yeah.
or Opeth,
Yeah.
then it's like, one, oh crap, one, oh, dang it, one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There is no one.
I always wonder about that. It's that there's so many things when it comes to other stories with music. You know what I mean? I love to see where people's mind go with music. Like being a vocalist, I've dabbled in every instrument, but I get caught in the middle of it where I'm ADHD in the music, where I'll go, there's the riff, the bass adds to there goes the drum. You know what I mean? I'm into the, I'm into the bass again. You know what I mean? I'm pulling all over the place, and I think it's just ADHD, but but that's the thing. I love to hear where people go with it and how they dissect it. I mean, if you enjoy music, or do you really, I could see that being, I'm later in the game. I want to, if you're focused on it constantly, I could see that. That would take my ADHD and give it a fucking an avenue. I'd be like, okay, I gotta count it out.
Well, I'm pretty left brain oriented, right? Pretty numbers, analytical, logical. So to me, the counting aspect really grounds and centers things.
Sure.
Right? And Dylan and I like to discuss the counts of songs that we play. That's a joke. We don't.
No.
James
was
counts
gonna
more
say.
than the dude on Sesame Street.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a cape.
1, 2, 3. Ha, ha. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
The and of
That's in the
two,
key of 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah. So that to me is where my brain is drawn towards, right? It's drawn towards that structure and that math and the mathematical aspects of
Yeah.
of music, right? And then I try and use that to lay the foundation to let these guys really express what we're trying to express in the songs, right? Because we're obviously not trying to make commercially viable, friendly, opening for Taylor Swift kind of music, right? Like that's not what we're doing here. We're trying to evoke emotions, and we're trying to tell people with our music that, like, hey, there are other people who have been in these situations that you're in. These things that you're going through, you're not alone in them.
Right.
And we one of us or multiple of us have been through that, and we're here. And so it's my job to lay as solid of a foundation as I can for that. And I do that by counting and being structural and logical with what I'm playing, and then let those guys try and build the emotion on top of that.
Right. Well, and it seems with the the first tune, it's not like you're. I was in the studio with Dave Ellison one time. I was just telling this story not that long ago. A friend of mine sent his demo to Dave Ellison. There was like this big competition, and you win him to fly into your town, and they rent out a studio. You get like a 4 or 5 song demo, and he does the whole production with you, runs through all. And so I did cameos with these guys on stage a lot in town. So they're like, hey, we want to record that tune. Come in and sing with us, So I'm literally sitting there watching him with this drummer, and the drummer was a great drummer to begin with. But to see him throw a metronome at him and make him stick on that metronome like nonstop. And it sounds silly because it can be so like mechanical feeling. But this dude, after his experience with Dave, became a whole nother type of drummer, to where I seen him take the guitar player and the bass player and go, what are you playing there? And he shows him the riff, and he's like, that riff is too complicated ear-wise. Like, pull this here. And he just refined it into little pieces. You know what I mean? Like, what's that riff? What are you doing? How many times are you playing that? Here, if you did this and simplified it here and simplified it there. And I sat there in awe, like, wow, to have somebody to be able to just, you know what I mean? It's like that audio, it just comes in super tight. And then, just watching that whole deal, man, was another fucking level of professionalism, when it came to metal. Like, that was an experience that I'll never forget. You know what I mean? But to be able to take that and show, local musicians what the pros really do and what they focus on, it was a true learning experience in like a few hours that I was there with them, so real cool. Now, how about you fellas? What the fuck did I just ask?
Rabbit hole after rabbit
Yes,
hole. Yeah.
that's what happens. That's how we do
I took
it.
us off on a tangent. I
No,
apologize
it's all good.
about
No,
that.
it's all good. It's all
So
good.
it was about listening to music.
Yes,
right?
listening to music and where you go with it. I mean, how do you take it?
So for me, like if I hear something new, I kind of have to listen and decide if I like it or not first.
Yeah.
And then if I like it, then I sit there and I kind of dissect it. Does it have staying power? Is this something I want to keep listening to? Is it something like when I turn it off, is it still playing in my head?
Yeah.
And then that makes me come back and listen more. And then I start to dissect it at that point.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay.
what is it
Okay.
about this that made it sticky?
Okay.
Where was the hook? What is it? What's going on here? Is it the guitar tone? Is it the way the vocals come in? Is it, and like you, I predominantly am a singer.
Right.
So that's usually the first thing. Like, I'll dismiss the coolest bands on the planet just because I don't like the singer.
Right.
It doesn't mean the singer's bad or good. It's not my cup of tea.
Right.
Tons of bands like that they're killer bands. I just can't listen to them because I don't like the singer.
Give me 2.
I'm the same way, Mike.
Well, this is kind of an extreme, but I absolutely hate Guns N' Roses because I think Axl Rose is a piece of shit who should never have a microphone.
Just because of his voice or because of who he is?
Yes.
Okay, I got
All
you.
of the above.
David Draymond is the dude for me when it comes
Yeah,
to that. I can't
could see
stand
that.
And,
I
and
could
here's
see
the thing:
that.
is like I actually met the guy. I actually watched him behind the behind the curtain, and how he dealt with regular human beings. And I was like, "You are a piece of shit. You're an asshole." And I would gladly smack you in the face.
I saw them at Ozfest back in whenever it was that they first got big, like 2002 or whenever.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched him on stage, and I was like, this guy is not metal.
He's a fucking Muppet.
He's like this guy is opportunistic or something. Somebody shoved him into a metal band because he's not a metalhead.
Yeah.
And then I watched him backstage, and I was like, yeah, this guy's
Douche.
yeah, he's a fucking poser.
Yep. Yep. Here, let me sign your bomb.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Dissection. Anyone else? Anyone else?
He's like, music, what's that?
I'm like, where are we now?
It's all good, man. It's all good. What drives you when it comes to writing? What is something that that inspires you, and where do you pull your inspiration from when it comes to writing? Yes.
So I suffer from an incredible excess of creativity.
Yeah.
I literally have to create something every day or my brain starts to short circuit.
No shit.
So I'll either I'm a professional writer, I'm a musician, I'm like downtime, I'll go get on Minecraft and build something like with Lego,
Right.
I just always have to be creating something.
Yeah.
So, and if I heard a song recently that inspired me and I like the vibe and I like the feeling, or if, like a lot of the Red Vinter stuff is, me processing emotions.
Mm.
And, like one of the new songs off the new album, the lyrics Jay wrote after he went through some really horrible shit. And it just, that's what inspires you, the real life plus, like, I literally can't go a day without creating something. That doesn't mean it's good,
That's amazing.
but I got to create something.
No, that's amazing, man. I always wonder about that because I'm the same way. I have to keep my mind active all the time. If I don't, I just feel it feels like depression sits in. It's
Yeah.
like the Rolling Stone gathers no moss type shit. If I feel like I'm,
Yeah.
being sick, it's the same thing. I'm in the house, I'm wandering around, fucking dude. I brewed a fucking 3 gallons of beer because when I was sick. I was like, I had to do something, I looked up a recipe. I'm like, oh, sweet, I got to get this. And I got everything, and I just had it in the house. And I'm like, fuck it, why not? But I had to. Either that or I was on the internet creating something, always making something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Same way, dude. Same
Yeah.
way.
And then if I'm not, it's like, that's when you start questioning your own sense of self-worth and all
Right.
that, like, oh, I'm a fucking loser because I can create something today, like.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a huge lesson to teach younger musicians too. Is like it doesn't have to be good. You should just be flexing those muscles as much as possible. You know what I mean? Like, I was just watching this thing about Jeff Buckley on HBO, and I absolutely love the dude. His dad was an amazing musician, and his writing and his vocals, and like, it made me think about poetry again, and I haven't for a long time. Here's a funny thing. I was just talking about this. I look back in the last 8 months, and I wrote pieces to 22 different songs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I've got books and books, like, halfway through with, 5 pages here and then skip 6 and then go to 5. And it's all over the whole notebook. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want them to run together in any way, so I separated, but I've got books all over the fucking place. So I would use all of those books from when I was a teenager to into my 30s when I was creating music. But it was like the ability to, when I stopped flexing those muscles, when I went back to write again, I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking horrible, man. And I know, I think somebody was talking about rehab before we came on, but that's what it was for me. Like, I got sober off the dope and I felt like I couldn't write properly. Like I had to be high, and I'm going, this ain't right, dude.
Yeah.
This don't feel right. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's in there, and then you hear about other musicians where they talk about, grabbing the vibe out of the ether. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know it's there, and you got to suss it out, and you get a good group of dudes and, play your fucking balls off to get it to come out, or sweat your.
Yeah, so my grandfather was, he worked for Westinghouse and RCA, and he was in charge of, like, armies of inventive engineers.
Yeah.
He died with, like, 136 vacuum tube patents.
Jesus.
He wrote this book called The Management of Inventive People that I got a copy of when I was a teenager. And the whole book is about how you need to be able to learn how to create on a schedule, on a production line. So creativity is the same thing as building a widget or cooking an egg or whatever. You need to learn how to do it and do it daily. And you need to be able to produce X amount every day. And so that got ingrained in me when I was a teenager, and it just became this thing where like, you know, it's like who I am, I guess, you know, and if I'm not doing it, then I feel like I'm not being me, I guess.
Yeah. How about you guys? Like, what inspires you guys to write and be productive when it comes to things like that? Did your grandpa write a book or have a book? That's pretty fucking cool, dude. That's really cool.
Yeah, he was a
man.
cool guy.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time to be creative right now. So
Yeah.
I'm a bad example.
Well, he's got twin 4-year-olds.
Oh, well, that'll do it right there.
Yeah.
That
so
dampers
he's
it a
lucky
little.
he's got time to breathe.
Yeah.
Let alone practice.
Yeah. That's tough for a couple years until they can really kind of function on their own,
Yeah.
and then it gets easier. So don't give up, because I had my band give up on me when I had my youngest one, because you know they just were creating so much so fast, and you know I wasn't available, and they were like, dude, we got all this material, like, all right, here we go. We're cutting the cord. We're going black metal. You go fucking wherever you're going. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, what is it that when you do you just headphones, or like when it's fucking bedtime, do you get
nap times. Yeah, this is just the other night because we had a bunch of it was the holidays. We had a bunch of days off, so I was working on some stuff for the new album. I'm trying to get more into solos. You know, the guys like to give me props, but I'm not a natural lead guitarist.
Yeah.
I prefer chugging, like Jay.
Yeah.
But it's slowly coming along, and the other day I was working on it, and it's just, you know, playing the same riff over and over again, playing the same little lick over and over again, tweaking a little bit to do. You know, my wife gets so annoyed. Bless her for dealing with me, and
yeah, man, big props to the wives.
Just sitting there, just over and over again for like an hour, just
go up one more fucking note,
drilling it into the head, like
yeah.
trying, like just working, trying to find that, you know, just the right note, the next right note, and then the next one, and then the next one.
Yeah.
I wish I had more time.
Well, yeah, man.
So
I think we all do, man. I think we all do.
I love being in that trench, just working my butt off, just going, and then the kids wake up and I have to go. Damn it!
Yeah.
Stop. Turn off the amp and.
You record it though, right? You record all
Oh,
your
yeah.
stuff. Oh man, God, I'd be fucking. I've done that so many times, man. Where you you go, what was I doing? What was I like? I'll grab my phone on the forklift, dude, and I'll go just try to get the fucking idea out.
I've got like 700 and some odd phone snippets like that, voice memos.
Yep.
He texts them to me. He's like, "Hey, what do you think of this one?"
That's killer, though, man.
And that really goes to the point that Dylan mentioned about having time.
Yeah.
And now with the way things are, you know, Mike can sit in his basement, plug into his computer, run something into his DAW, drop it into the shared folder that we all have access to. Then I go download it. And this is the way we compose a lot of stuff. He'll write something, I will download it, put it into Guitar Pro, I'll put it into Guitar Pro and I'll write out the drum score, write out the entire drum score on my headphones, so my wife and daughter don't have to listen to me try and figure out what beat goes in there. I can just write it in Guitar Pro, write the whole thing, export a MIDI, send it back to Mike, say, hey, what do you think of this drum sound? Now, yeah, it's quantized and it doesn't have dynamics and blah blah blah.
Right.
But what do you think of this
Nice
drum part?
bass, though, right?
Like it's a great starting point, and we can build those practice tracks and then practice to those, right? And I use those to learn my parts that I write. I'll write them all out completely, and then it's really easy to copy paste a section, to delete this, change this from a ride bow to a ride bell, blah blah blah, and then export it, build it in your DAW. And then you have a functioning demo track versus, you know, when you're doing stuff in the 90s, you've got a 4-track in the corner covered up with a blanket so it doesn't completely blow out.
We didn't even have that. We had a boom box.
Well, you weren't rich enough. No, but
it wasn't rich at all.
but you know, compared to what you had to do to get those ideas back then, now. Yeah. You know, we have a lot of other problems, but one of the problems that we don't have is, you know, the ability to produce and to share ideas extremely quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that's one benefit of, the change and progress in
For
technology.
sure.
There's some downsides to that, but
Yeah.
that's a huge benefit in how quickly we can exchange ideas.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. I never ever had a chance to do that, man. I got out of it. We were like right on the cusp of doing that. I bought a Zoom recorder and I had it in the corner with a muffle on it. You know what I mean? And they sound so good. You can get such a great recording out of it. And that is as close as we got when it came to that. But I hear a band that recently just came in is Evernorth, and those guys were like, yeah, we've got dry race boards all over the practice space. We break everything down. We take notes on everything. And I'm like, there's got to be dicks on those dry race boards. we went into a whole conversation about, oh yeah, there's at least 3 or 4. I'll draw one on his and he'll draw one on mine. That type of shit. But I love the fact that, people are really using it to their advantage nowadays, man. It's so fantastic. I wish it was now let me ask you this. Ear monitors, you guys have fucked with any of that shit yet?
Man,
We have a very, very shade tree.
Yeah.
Like we run it out of his phone into a headphone
Rudimentary.
booster when cables everywhere.
So
And we
that's-
do that to learn songs,
Yeah.
but then once we know how to play them, we stop.
So live and rehearsal is no click, no IEMs, just earplugs and whatever monitors we're lucky enough to get at the venue we have, right?
Yep.
But to Mike's point, when we're learning, we've written the songs and we're trying to learn them, we have a headphone amp and IEMs that we run, and we basically play along to the track as we,
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
as
and
as
really,
we learn it.
That's
The
sick.
only reason we do it is because it's so much more efficient than stopping and going, what was that riff? What did you play that? Wait a minute, who's playing what?
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden 20 minutes has gone by and you haven't gotten anywhere.
The guys on the other side of this wall, they hit me to the Behringer XR18.
XR18, I want one.
And so he runs his whole mix with a slinky out, right? So they just roll their case into the venue. They have everything on stage and it all runs. They have their own shit. They just plug the house plugs into their shit, and it's on like Donkey Kong, dude. I was like, holy shit! It's really that. He's like, well, it's a little spendy, but it is the way to go. And I'm like, oh man, if I had ear monitors back then,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
It's a
Remember when I
great-
first got on stage back in the day, it was like you got on stage and all you heard was,
Oh yeah,
you know?
Oh yeah.
I remember you'd lean up against the back of the drum riser so you could feel the snare drum to know where you were in the song.
Right. Oh yeah. Those are the days.
No,
man.
those
Yeah.
those setups are fantastic, right? But when you add it all up, if you're doing wireless for everybody,
Yeah.
and you get the wireless packs that are not on 2.4 gigahertz, so you don't get the Wi-Fi interference, you're on a separate frequency.
Right.
You're talking $3 to $4 grand for even a semi decent setup. And if we're playing 30 to 40 minute sets,
Right.
and then you got to roll up and plug all of that in and invest in all of that,
Right.
it's for a lot of the smaller bands, it's just not terribly economical,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like it's a fantastic thing, and I wish we had it because I'm hard of hearing.
Yeah.
I'm deaf in one ear anyway,
Right.
so having IEMs and my own mix controlled from my phone would be bloody fantastic,
Right.
Like I would love to have that.
Right.
When you weigh it all out, it's like,
It's a lot more affordable than you think. Honestly, I just looked into it just recently, like within the last 6 months, and I was actually really surprised at how far they've come down. Now, this is the cheapest thing that I found. This was $35, and I can go all over this whole building
you
with
have
just
one of those, don't you, Mike?
just right here. This is just the simplest in-ear monitors, dude, that you could just. I bought them on Amazon. I kid you not, and you could buy each one of these for like $20. And you can literally have, and they're cheap. Obviously, you're not going to play live with them, but this works right here, man. And they work really fucking good. They sound fantastic. I've had my machine going, and I've been watching TV over here. Machine going, it's loud, and I can still hear good. So, I mean, it's
nice.
well worth it to give it a shot. Very inexpensive for, something that it might work for you. Trying it out would be good, cheap wise, to then go to something more expensive. And I know Jordan and the guys in Courier have just made it sound like it's the way to go. You know what I mean? It just seems so. They were like, yeah, we pitched in a little bit of this, and then band playing shows. They just put their band money into it and ended up buying the whole rig for everybody. And It's always easier to say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you got family and you know what I mean. You got bills and everybody's got fucking bills to pay. So it's
Right.
it is you know, it's a kick in the pocketbook, that's for sure. Let me see here. I did ask you this question though before we got going. Favorite band you feel no one knows but should, and that could be local or national.
Oh man.
My favorite band is Voivod.
Yeah.
So, and I think, like, I know they're big, but to me, they should be 10 times bigger than they are.
Yeah. I seen them a bunch of times,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
When I was a kid, I seen them a bunch of times. I seen them with Faith No More, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I saw that tour twice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I seen them at First Avenue, man. It was fucking amazing, dude.
yeah.
I don't
they
even
were
think-
incredible. Yeah. And then, you know, Piggy dies, and then, you know, what are you going to do without Piggy? Because he was the driving force. But
Right.
then Dan comes along, and Dan's like Piggy 2.0.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. They're
Yeah, so-
touring. They're like they just announced another tour recently, didn't they?
yeah, I don't think they're coming here.
Oh,
Um,
Milwaukee, I think, is the closest, or Chicago.
yeah, one of those two. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. One of those two.
Yep.
Not here.
Voivod is definitely a good one for sure. How about you, fella?
Locally, I would probably say Caustic Abyss.
Oh yeah.
Nationally, I would probably say No Spoon, out of they're East Coast prog.
No Spoon, huh?
Yeah,
Huh.
SPUN with a little line
Wow.
over it. No, not SPOON.
I
Looks
didn't know we
no
get to say two. If we're going to say two, then locally, Thunder Goat.
There you go. Those guys are rad. Those guys are rad.
Yep.
Caustic Abyss, dude.
They're rad, too.
2025, one of my favorite releases. They were
Yes.
fucking. That was a great album they dropped.
Yes, that's
One
a
of the
killer
heaviest that I had heard 2025 locally. I thought was very, very good.
and that's why more people need to hear it.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
That album kills.
Yeah. They're well, dude. They're all veterans. Every
Oh,
single
yeah.
one of them dudes has been around forever, man.
Yeah,
They're
it's
all
like a-
solid players, man.
Super group.
That fucking Will, Casey, Alex. Who's playing drums on that one? I don't. Oh,
Crap, I forgot.
Aaron Lanik. Is he playing drums on that one? I think it is Aaron Lanik.
I don't remember.
Somebody's gonna kick my ass for not knowing that. How about you, sir? Any bands that you enjoy that you think people should know if they haven't?
I wouldn't say nationally, but there is a local band from a little bit further north, northern Minnesota, named Morrow.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really digging them the last couple of years. I keep meaning to get a T-shirt at one of their shows, but every time I go to a show of theirs, they don't have any for the extra large.
I've seen the name
I'm
around.
old.
I've seen the name around.
But no, I've been seeing them for a couple of years because a guy he was a drummer.
Chick Singer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
That's a
And-
different band.
What?
Yeah, Chick Singer is a
different
different band too.
What? Oh yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
That's Tempest.
Hey, you caught me on that one, dude. You're right. How about you, sir?
I've just been scrolling trying to find artists. I have a hard time remembering, but locally, definitely I see you have a poster on the wall. Cobra Czar.
Oh yeah.
Love Cobra Czar.
Yeah.
The riffs are
Those dudes,
awesome.
again, another band that has members from bands that have been around this music scene for fucking ever, dude. You know what I mean? Their drummer's an absolute beast. Him is an absolute beast. Both guitar players. What is that? Mikey and I can't remember dude's name. He's gonna kill me too for not remembering his name. Yeah, the fantastic band. Very,
Yeah.
very good band. That
listening to them.
sonically, seeing those guys, they're always louder than everybody else. They're just, you know what I mean? That's like the 11 band all the time. You know? They're heavy.
Awesome. Recently, for like more of a bigger act, there's this band coming up called Mirar, Mirar.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've heard of them,
No,
but
I
they're interesting because they're not like metal guys. They're more like classically trained, but they do this strange, like atonal, almost like it's like a video game soundtrack, but
Right.
it's like so heavy. And so it's got all the vibes. You just want to like, it just like washes over you, this wall of sound. And
Nice.
It's different than anything I've heard so far.
That's cool, dude. I like bands like that. I want to throw this one out there all the time. What do you guys think about what is it?
Spinal Tap.
No. The fucking band with all the masks. Everybody's
Slipknot?
No, not
Sleep
those.
Token.
Sleep
Token,
Token. That's the
yeah.
one I was thinking of. See, they're not on my. I here's the thing: is I worked with a guy who was like, "Have you heard of the band?" And then I asked somebody about them. Oh, they fucking suck. You know what I mean? But I was like, oh, I didn't hear very good things. And he goes, neither did I. But my wife really loves them. And I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, it's one of those bands that you put on when you're driving somewhere. And he goes, dude, you'll be surprised. So I put it on and I just kind of listened to it. And there was like jazz. There was like heavy shit. I was like, whoa, this is kind of. And I don't hate the vocalist. You know what I mean? So I was like, eh. Now when someone told me about Ghost, it was the exact opposite. It was like. Ugh. But then when I saw them live, I was like, wow, they fucking throw down live. Like,
So a band that would beat both of those, Blood Incantation.
there you go.
Ooh.
That's a heavy band.
That's
those
really
guys,
heavy.
those guys rip, dude.
Yeah.
Those guys rip for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, Sleep Token. The drumming 2, I guess, is the name of the drummers. Fantastic, right? Just absolutely fantastic. Like gospel chops all over the place, and it's just. I mean, the vocals. I'm like Mike. Like vocals are really a make or break kind of thing for me, and so I can't really like listen to any hardcore or metalcore. Sorry, but because the vocals just don't do it for me. And
Just because of the screaming.
I don't
why?
like.
The
I don't
way
like
they scream.
the way they scream.
Okay,
right,
gotcha.
like I don't like that particular type of screaming. Like I would prefer like a Randy Blythe or Phil Anselmo, or we're gonna go like a George Fisher or just the gutturals, right? Like I don't prefer that high pitched screaming and black metal the type of screaming. But the Sleep Token, don't miss me with that.
Me too.
But like Sleep Token, I'm kind of the same way. The vocals I'm not really too keen on, but musically it's extremely interesting and it's very well composed.
Sure.
But like I said, the vocals for me personally are not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I get it. I totally get it. I'm kind of the same way, but I don't know. I'm a ex-vocalist, so I don't know. I'm the same way, dude. If it takes me a minute. Coheed and Cambria is a band that vocal wise, I couldn't stand it, but it grew on me, and his lyrical content grew on me even more. And then I'm like, Jesus, I love this dude with this mop head. You know what I mean? He's a great guitar player. He's a fantastic guitar, but that super high, just it threw me off. But I dig it.
Well, then what do you think about the Mars Volta and Cedric?
See, that's the thing. You know what, man? I'm kind of hit or miss with those guys. I enjoy it musically. They're all over the fucking place. I love it. It's a hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
I don't hate but I don't love. It's not something that I would seek out. You know,
Okay.
where Coheed is kind of, because now the newer Coheed, I didn't grasp like their older stuff. I absolutely loved. Seen them 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? But new stuff, I gave it a shot. Again, I'm the same way when you said that. I have to listen to it, and I will listen to it multiple times. The new Deftones album didn't just punch me in the face. The one before that, it took me 4 or 5 listens to be like, okay, I like 1, 3, 5, 6, you know what I mean? And then I'll go back and start picking them apart and like, okay. And then I'll slip into those ones that I didn't really like. Again, those bands that everybody says, you got to check them out, man. They're great. I always put them there and I go, It's like, this movie was great. And then you watch it and you're going, this is boring. This is not a good movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, what is it? Between the Buried and Me, I think it is.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
My buddy's a huge fan of those cats. They're kind of proggy at times, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a huge fan, and then we have a bunch of friends that are huge fans of them. And I always ask, what is the album that you would suggest to give somebody that is going to be the one you think will get them into it, you know? And all of them are different. You know, they're all like, oh, this is the one I found at this particular time. It really sunk with me. So I kind of jumped around, and it just never really grabbed me until I ate mushrooms. And then I was like, okay, I get it a little bit more. You know?
Now it makes sense.
I get it a little bit more, you know. But as a matter of fact, we should take a listen to another tune. It is, let's listen to another tune. We've got KIA. Tell me, what is this tune about?
KIA is basically about walking through life wondering why you're still alive, feeling like you were killed in action, but your heart's still beating. You don't understand. You're going through the motions.
What does the KIA mean?
killed in action.
Nice. Okay. I should pay attention. Dude, you should learn how to read. I know, that's killer, man. I've felt that way many times. You know?
Yeah.
You're just going through the motions sometimes.
Yeah.
I think a lot, you know, what you're saying about being creative. When you're in the lull of the creativity, that's where I feel like I'm killed in action right there, where you're just kind of...
I can go down a rabbit hole on that, but we'll do that later.
All right, well, let's take a listen. Let's do KIA, folks. Let me get this fucking thing together here. KIA, folks, take a listen. We'll be right back. Nice. Killed in action. That's fucking awesome, dude. Great job. That's fantastic, man. Very, very cool. It looks like here, let me see here. We'll go here January 11th, Elm Creek Brewing Co. Free all ages show. Doors at 6 p.m. Champlin, Minnesota. Wanderer, Red Vinter, and Costanetini? I'm going to mess your name up, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm horrible at reading. Oh, that's fantastic. But please go check these guys out. This sounds like it's going to be a fantastic show. January 11th. It's a Wednesday, isn't it? Sunday. Sorry. Sunday. Let's see here. Yeah, Sunday. It is a free all-age show. Doors are at 6 p.m. Like I said, Champlin, Minnesota's right down the street from here. For God's sakes, Wanderer, Red Vinter, and Costanini. I don't know. Sounds like a panini. I don't know. I wonder if they're what did somebody say that's like Polish or something? Anybody say that? I thought somebody said that.
I think Dylan did. Dylan's I think knows them.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I've never actually heard anybody say it out loud till I heard you try.
Trust me, I'll butcher them with the best of them all the time. Let me see here. We got Tierney Jones 478 says hi Zach LOL. Johnny Hawk says the host of the show definitely eats corn the long way. I love that dude. Dude, he comes in all the time on the show just to give everybody a hard time. He's like, I hope I don't piss those guys off, but it's fun to talk shit. So I love it. John, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Bob Dylan is the worst, in my opinion, listening to him stretch. What does he say? Oh, screech out is like an alley cat always made me want to puke. I hear you there. I guess Bob Dylan can do that to people. Has it an effect? Dan Dittmer, the man of the hour, the tattoo guy of the world over there. Mars Volta are great. We played with them at the drive-in. Good dudes. Guitarist was nicest. Awesome. Yeah, they're very cool. Loving that dirty bass. He likes your bass tone.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, Dan Dittmer was on here. He's a blast, man. He's a fantastic dude. I've had referenced his story a couple times. He had a spot, I believe, in North Dakota, but he was like kind of coming from California. I think one of his parents lived in North Dakota, and it was one of those stories where he's like, yeah, Clutch contacted me. He didn't have a place to play, and then ended up staying at his place and eating spaghetti. And like all these old punk bands said that they would contact him going, like he was the way to that they just do like basement shows at his place, and his mom would cook big, vats of spaghetti for everybody, and everybody crash out.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah, man, gotta love that shit, right? Now, you guys aren't. You said you're not from Minnesota. You're not from the Twin Cities. No. Do tell me how where are you guys from? Like what made you come to the north, the country, the fucking freezing tundra?
So I came out of the D.C., Maryland, Virginia scene.
Okay.
Actually, remember the guys in Clutch when they were Glut Trip.
Oh,
awesome
nice.
Awesome dudes.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's old school shit there.
Yeah, was a big part of the thrash scene back there, and then got into the beginnings of what became the Maryland Doom scene, and a lot of the D.C. and Virginia death metal and stuff like that.
Nice.
And then left. And then years later ended up here, so.
Yeah. Crazy.
So we're actually from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
So quite a bit warmer down there.
Yeah.
But we ended up here a few years ago because my daughter was playing hockey there. And it's not a big hockey community in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And she wanted to keep playing hockey, wanted to play hockey with girls because she was on an all-boys team, Yeah. And so we looked around. We looked at Wisconsin. We looked at Michigan. We looked at Minnesota. And Minnesota's the state of hockey.
Yeah.
And
allegedly.
There's a few decent players from here.
Yeah, a couple.
And so we packed up and moved. I was working in office, and I got to switch to work full-time remote. They let me keep my job and just move and work full remote.
Fantastic, man.
And sold the house and moved 700 miles away.
Damn.
Because
to the
of
cold,
hockey.
man. Yeah,
because of my kid playing hockey.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she quit playing hockey.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
When you
sad.
moved up here?
No, shortly after, but a couple years after. But that's life.
Wow.
Teenagers. That's
that's how it is, man. At least, you know what? That's really cool of you, as a parent to say, hey, we want to, feed that for you. You know what I mean? That's a great thing, man. There's a lot of people would be selfish and not do something cool like that. That's pretty damn cool.
Well, and we were fortunate enough to be in a situation where we could do that,
Right.
right? Like, it's not just, do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people want to do things for their kids,
For
but
sure.
can you do that?
Right.
And we were lucky enough that, yes, we can. And so we did,
Yeah.
and so none of us regret it. We love it here. Despite the 4 feet of snow that is piled up on the side of my driveway right now, we still love it here.
Yeah.
So
It's beautiful in the summer and spring and fall and every other season if you can get them all. You know what I mean? We haven't been lately for the last 10 years or so. You know what I mean? It goes right from fucking cold to super hot, or like super hot to freezing. You know what I'm saying?
Two seasons, winter and Canadian wildfire.
Yeah, that too, man. Holy God, these last couple of years, man,
Yeah.
just killing you, man. You can't even go outside. Kayaking was horrible this summer, dude. Horrible. Oh, on fire, lungs wise and sinuses and everything, man. And now, are either one of you guys from the Twin Cities, or y'all
Yep.
transplants, or?
I'm from northern Minnesota,
Okay.
like right outside of Duluth.
Oh, nice.
I got the hell out of there as soon as I was an adult.
Small town, get the hell out.
Yeah, and I just moved, to both coasts, and I've lived in Minneapolis before, and I ended up coming here like 7-8 years ago.
Oh, nice.
To getting a new job.
Sure.
So, I don't have the great origin story these two do. One's a hero, one's a villain. I'm like, it's gonna
You
be on-
choose which.
Yes, it's going to be on Amazon next year.
He did go on tour as a backup dancer with the Footloose crew.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Everybody get loose. Okay, where are you from, Dylan?
I'm from the area. I'd like to say that, but I've split time between here and Wisconsin for various reasons. But
Yeah.
Most of my adult life has been spent elsewhere, so like I'm just kind of now discovering it, like discovering the cities more,
Yeah.
being able to get around as an adult, and the music scene, getting into that more is really nice.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot out there. There's a lot to get into. There's a ton of bands out there, man. This place is filled with talent. It's unbelievable, and it has been for years, man. I've been fortunate to be a part of this music scene since '87, so it's kind of crazy to see so many bands come and go, and the ebb and flow of everything around here, and it's always great to see all these young bands. I want to bring this up, and I didn't. It's kind of segues into some of the questions that I was going to ask, but this week I ran across and I won't name his name, but there's a new booker in town. He's a younger cat, and he's doing a lot of grind shows. He's doing a lot of kind of stuff at Flying V, and he's these newer venues, smaller venues. But I saw that he booked something really close together with a venue that had just opened their doors to a lot more local shows, and I sent him a message. And you ever see those I can't remember what company it is, but there's an older guy walking with this person, and the person he's walking with is like offering somebody his opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, when I was on my kids, and tell him a whole story, and the guy's with him going, he doesn't want to hear that type of shit,
Yeah.
right?
You talking about the progressive
that
commercial?
yes,
Yeah.
okay. So you get the idea of the whole thing, right? So the premise of it,
Don't become your parents.
right?
Yeah.
So I become my parents. Seriously, that's what it is. Is because I've been in the scene so long that I see people making things, or falling into situations where I'm like, you're doing so good, don't do that. You know what I mean? So I sent the guy a message, and right away I was like, hey man, if he listens to this, he knows I'm talking about him. But I sent him the message, and I said, I hope I didn't overstep my boundaries here, but booking a show with virtually the same bill 5 days apart. And I was like, first of all, the venue that you're booked the first show at is a up and coming venue, open to the all age thing, very, very, very fresh. Now the one that you're booking 5 days later is one that just opened its doors to more local shows. And I said, totally my opinion, but I've been around, and I just said, I'm an old dog from the scene, hey, just letting you know, 5 days apart, and then I just put ... and I was like, can I offer some advice? And of course, I became my parents, and I just vomited all this advice. But I said, I'm sorry. I wish you the best. I hope that, I wish you the best on all the booking stuff. I hope you do a whole lot more, but just pay attention to what you're doing, because both venues deserve your full attention when it comes to that. Because if you're booking a show in a venue that's just opening their doors to these local shows, and you fuck up and don't give them a good turnout because of 5 days earlier, it's virtually the same show with one other band. Oh. And if one of those three bands isn't pulling well, you're kind of shit out of luck, and it makes the booker, and I just reiterated it, offered my opinion, offered my humble advice, and I just said, dude, you can tell me to fuck off. If I overstep my boundaries, I apologize. I just wanted to throw it out there. Dude was really open to it, super cool. He was like, he expressed, I'm a little concerned, and I was kind of like, you should be, and it's the pitfalls. So now kind of a segue, what do you guys think is a good medium when it comes to being a band? Like, how many times do you like to book per month? What is the ratio as far as like distance between places to play? Or are you kind of like, we're pretty new, we want to get our name out there, we're pushing real hard? Because I agree with both. Both are feasible. You know what I'm saying? But if you're already known and you're not putting out new material to play a bunch of shows, it's kind of pointless to me. You know what I'm saying? If you're starving it out, or if you're doing what you guys are doing and creating content for them, that if you're not out playing shows, you can share it or give it to guys like me who will play it. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. What are you guys' thoughts on this whole deal?
This comes up a lot in the band chat. I think we've talked about it a lot, and like in like a good constructive way. Like we try to do one show a month. It's mostly like we say it's for like, we don't want to flood the market, quote unquote, but also scheduling. We all have families and lives and jobs and stuff. But if you could do 2 shows a month, that's like a pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
Now, would you split them, or would you try to stay in like 2 in Minneapolis in a month, or would you go Minneapolis, St. Paul, or would you go? Are you trying to shoot out of? I mean, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I mean, spreading it out's always a good idea. I wouldn't mind it. It's like, yeah, two shows in a month. I guess it depends. Yeah, where the venues and who you're playing. If you're playing with a different bands each time, then that's a little different. You know.
Now, how about this? This Elm Creek Brewing Company, is this a new thing? They just start doing shows there? Or?
He actually works.
Yeah.
Really?
I brew beer there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, this sort of happens because the band we're playing with, Wanderer.
Yeah.
Their bassist Jack his family owns the company.
Oh, nice.
And so the Wanderers played there before multiple times. They like to throw in a metal show every now and then, especially in like January.
Seems to be the thing nowadays. Like Surly kind of pushed that deal.
With Darkness Days.
Yeah, their big festival or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I've never been to, which I want to kick myself in the head. They've had some cool shit.
Yeah.
The one time I really wanted to go was when Carcass was supposed to play it, and the dudes.
Didn't they have like Tenacious D there one time?
I
feel like
they've had some really cool shit there.
That's so cool.
Really, really cool shit there. Any other thoughts on the booking thing? Or?
So,
Wait, hold on. Who does most of the booking out of the band? Okay,
Mike.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been, I don't want to sound like I'm egotistical or whatever, but I've been doing this the longest. I've played the most shows. I've been in signed bands. I've toured. I've done all those things. So I'm super, super particular about cannibalizing your own draw and competing against yourself.
Yeah.
So if we play, 2 shows, like we're going to play Syncfest in March at Eagles.
Yep.
And if we play at Zora Darling 2 weeks before, all we're doing is competing with ourselves.
Fucking yourself, bro.
Exactly. So, but if we were going to turn around and say we were going to go play up at Yashir, you know what I'm talking about?
Yashir Kombucha.
Yeah, Kombucha, that place.
Is that for Bemidji or Brainerd?
It's Brainerd.
Brainerd, okay.
Yeah,
I
but
always
if we
get
were going to
those
go play there like the week before, then that's cool.
Yeah.
Because there's no way, you're cannibalizing your draw at that point.
Yeah.
So We try not to play more than a show a month for like what Dylan was saying, because, you know, we've all got lives and families and things going on and kids and blah, blah, blah. Playing 2 shows a month would be cool, but it would have to be like targeting different scenes, basically.
Yeah.
You know, like
or a great opening spot or something.
Yeah, and we try and leave margin for, you know,
if
a cool band comes along and we happen to be lucky enough to get to the front of the line to open for them.
Right.
You know,
right.
That kind of thing. So that's kind of where we're at. And we would like to play a lot more, but at the same point, it's, you know, like I've been in bands a long time ago where we were playing, you know, every other week or every week or 2 or 3 times a week or those kinds of things. And pretty soon it's
now,
just
what
like,
year was that though?
That was back in the early 90s.
So I mean, the draws were different back then too.
Yeah,
People were out there drinking.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even fucking drinking these days.
There was no internet. There was no I can sit home and stream.
Right.
There was all the distractions didn't exist.
Right.
Everybody went out.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to have this roommate, super cool guy. I actually talked to him the other day for the first time in years. His name's Steve Thrasher, of all things.
Great name.
Yes. And he was like the switchboard of the DC metal scene for a long time.
Yeah.
Like Thrasher would find out where the show was and he would call everybody in all the different little scenes all over the DC, Virginia, Maryland area. And he would get everybody, hey, you know, go down to the Safari Club, Iron Christ and Deceased and Abominog, and come on down. And you'd get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, you know. Or they're all playing, like the first time I ever saw Deceased, they were playing in a barn in somebody's tobacco farm in Nowheresville, Virginia.
Right.
And there was like 1,000 people there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So you could do it then, but still you'd get to the point where if you played so many times in a short period.
I just saw those guys.
Yeah, people, it loses that specialness.
Yeah.
And people are just like, I'll catch them next time, or I just saw them, or whatever.
There's a lot of wisdom in what he's saying here. So if you are watching the podcast, man, this is definitely something to think about. I know I try to bring it up every few episodes to kind of, you know, keep it fresh in people's minds, because you see a lot of people fall into that thing, and they use it as an excuse, as we're trying to get it out there. Dude, no, you don't. You do it. There's so many other ways to get it out there nowadays.
It's law of supply and demand.
Yeah.
You know, if your supply radically outweighs the demand, then you're just cheapening what you're doing.
Right.
And we put way too much damn work into this to shoot ourselves in the foot by cheapening it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm not saying we're a great band or we're going to be, you know, Gojira or whatever. But we put a lot of effort into it, and then the people that we partner with put a lot of work into it. You know, Will Marvellis has put a lot of sweat into our mixes.
Right.
And, you know, Zach Moonshine from Metal Devastation's put a lot of effort
cool
to help
dude.
us promote.
Him and his old lady are fucking.
They're super cool.
Hardcore, man.
Yeah.
They're good people, man.
Killer people.
Yeah.
You know, and I got friends on both coasts, and I got, you know, people all over the place helping to spread the word. And so it's like we have to do our best to kind of maintain the value. It's like, you know, you own a house and you let your house go to shit, and then you can't sell it for the same amount of money. That's your fault.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. If we go out, you know, and some bands like to play 5-6 times a week. Like, there's a couple of bands that I really like the guys, and they're really cool people.
Different styles of bands can pull that off, though.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if you're an improvisational band, to where like your songs are very open ended on things, and you're more of a jammy type band, big difference, man.
Yeah,
because
or
you
a cover band.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is being in a you know, your own original band, I hated for years and years and years, hated bands that did covers, because they made way more fucking money than we did ever. $2,500 for playing somebody else's music, and then, you know what I mean? And it's like
Wedding band.
badly. You're playing music badly. You know how many times as a vocalist that I know the solo and you go, nope, that's not it. You're just yelling at them like, oh, dude, are you? No, you're not even in the ballpark, bro. What are you talking about? Like, that's what I hated about live albums as a kid. But then as you fall into the ear of it all, and you teach your ear to figure it all out, and all of a sudden, there are albums that I haven't listened to for 20 years that you could put on, and I could totally all the way through. Oh, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, how did I still remember that after 20 years? You know what I'm saying? The same way, you're analyzing it, you love it. Right? That's why I always wonder how people analyze their music. And this was a great podcast for it. You guys actually participated in it. A lot of people will just go, oh, I just fucking like it. You know? Well, seriously, you know, I love breaking it down like that, man. It really takes I've always been told I have a great ear for music, and it sucks because every instrument, I'm so ADHD that like if I don't pick it up right away, I'm such a perfectionist. Fuck it. I've got 3 basses sitting against the wall. My wife's like, "You gonna sell those things?" Nope. Nope. I will not sell another bass, but I want to play it so bad. You know, I know a few songs, pieces, you know, but it's just can't give it up. Got to keep doing it. You know, got to keep doing it, man. I'll never let go of music ever. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's ingrained in me. Let me see here. Music scene. How do you guys feel about the music scene here in the Twin Cities? How do you?
There's so many killer bands here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So me and this guy Eric started up a website called Minnesota Bleeds Metal just to do reviews and talk about the shows and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And when we first started it, there was like just 5 or 6 bands we knew of.
Yeah.
And the deeper we got into it, the more bands we found.
Yeah.
And then this band, would turn you on to that band, and then you'd go to this show, and then you'd find this other band,
Yeah.
Like the page that we have all the bands linked on it must have 100 bands on it. And there's ones that we decided not to put on there
Yeah.
because they're either defunct now or maybe they're not really playing metal or
Yeah,
those
3
kinds of
years
things.
ago, dude, I had a list that was just, it was insane. I still have it on my phone. It's just massive.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, those guys are no longer around. But they, we talk about Cobra Czar, the band before Cobra Czar, Ambassador Gun. If you could find any of that stuff, if it's online, that's the beginning of Cobra Czar is Ambassador Gun. They're mean as hell, dude. And they toured a ton too. They're mean. Mean. Yeah, heavy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, community. How do you guys feel? There's a lot of great bands. Are you connecting with everybody?
Yeah. Like, so Living Through Ghosts kind of took us under their wing at first.
Right.
Felicia, Sam, all them, they're awesome people.
Yeah.
We played our first show with them, and then we started to meet some other people, and then, now we, hanging out with Matt from Volsunga Saga and Kellerman, and there's just so many cool people.
Yeah.
And Eric's at all the shows.
Yep.
And, it's like the more shows we play, the more people we meet, and the bigger the community grows, the more people we want to play with.
Yeah.
The guys in Thunder Goat, we're going to play with them in March.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really cool. The one thing I would say, having been part of music scenes all over the country, that I see here that drives me crazy, is it's very compartmentalized. I've noticed. Like, you'll get this one group of people that will only go see their bands or whatever, or the bands that they follow.
Yep.
And then there's a whole other group of people over here that will only follow these other bands.
Oh, dude, you have no idea.
And if you could, but then you go, like, I went to, the last big show I was at was Blood Incantation, and there was like 2,000 people there.
Yeah.
And, there's a guy I saw when he went to go see Cobra Czar, and here's a guy over there I saw seeing Glutton for Punishment, and here's a guy over there I saw Living Through Ghosts. And
Yep.
so, but you can't get them all together.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, right now, like, metal is just crazy oversaturated.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there was, you were lucky if you had 5 good metal bands in any major metropolitan area.
Yeah.
So, when a
Yeah,
band
yeah.
played, everybody came.
Yeah.
Now there's 100 of them.
Yeah.
So, it compartmentalizes the scene almost too much.
Dude,
And I
it's
wish you
even
could
wor-
pull
it's even
everybody
worse than
together.
what you're saying. I mean, it's even worse than that. It goes from St. Paul to Minneapolis, and it goes from like underground shows, like DIY shows. There's that shit. Those people don't even come out of some of the thrash bands don't even go out and play some of these places. That's what's crazy about it. It's like there's bands that won't even leave Minneapolis. They won't play St. Paul. Vice versa. It's been like that for years, dude. And then there's people that, I know a handful. I can name 6 guys off the top of my head that actually jammed with skinhead bands, like racist skinhead bands, because they wanted people to play with. That seems absolutely insane to me.
That is
You know what I mean?
How could you even think of that?
But they're touring with them. That's the thing. They're going to Europe. They're doing all this shit, and then you ask them why, and they're like, "Dude, I was young. I fucking wanted to tour. That's what I wanted to do." And I'm like, "But you're stuck with this." Like, there are guys that actually made it out of that actually came out, and I jammed with 2 of them, 3 of them, right? And they're not that type of person. You know what I mean? They're not hateful people, but they wanted to jam and they wanted to tour, and it's like they got hooked up with these people, and it's sad to say. It's sad to see people get pigeonholed. There's a dude that I played with when I came up, and I could never jam with them anymore because we're connected on different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And it's horrible because I've talked to him and he's like, dude, do you think I'm a racist? And I'm like, you've never been racist to me. I'm Hispanic. You've never been racist to me. He's always loved children. You know what I mean? But the chick he hooked up with, she was hated whatever color you were, and it had to rub off on him somewhat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't hate to point fingers at people, but it just, that happens. It sucks. And I have always really appreciated other people that thought the way I did, where you have doom, you've got a little bit of black metal, you got the darkened black metal, you got thrash, you got all of that. Even some heavy alternative shit. I throw them all together. There's a cat I came up with. I was up before him, but when he was booking at the Quest, some of the bills that he put together were fantastic. It was like death metal all the way to radio rock, and everybody had such a good time. But it was like, as soon as that venue was done, everybody went back to their little pockets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it bums me out because bands like Nuisance started out as a nu metal band and has blossomed into this whole different style band. They still have a rap core feel to them. Like, the groove is still that groove, but they're heavy as shit now. You know what I mean? They're kind of on that deathcore almost, like right on the edge of it. You know, they're still heavy as shit. And they just had a local show at the Myth, and they did above their. I walked in and said, "What's the breaking point?" And they're like 300 people. I'm like, "You think it's going to happen?" And they're like, "It's all ages, lots of kids," and they kept pulling people in, and now it's a venue that doesn't really cater to local bands. Doesn't you know what I mean?
I don't understand how that place stays open.
Dude, I don't either. But now they redid the sound. When I was in there, it sounded fantastic. I've seen big bands in there. I've seen Clutch in there. I've seen D'Antwoord in there. I've seen all kinds of fucking bands. Tesla. I've seen a bunch of different bands in there.
Yeah.
And the sound never did it for me the last time I was there. And maybe it was because I'm connected to the sound guy and the bands. But I was like, wow, it's the lights, dude. Holy shit. It was watching national lights with local bands. It was insane, dude. You know, where the fucking lights are doing this on the middle. The one guy, the singer, walked to the edge of the stage telling a joke, and they followed him all the way to the spotlight and then opened it up. I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is the way it should be done at a local place, dude. You know what I mean? Like, make it a production, man. Make it cool. So dude, there's so many great bands in this town, and it does suck that I think bands like Nuisance and bands like Reaping Asmodeus, another one, that they pay attention to the people around them and talk to Will Miravellis and myself, and people, and Josh Kellerman's a huge resource for people too. Now that he's booking shows as well, that it's even better because he knows. He's been around since we were kids. Me and Josh grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Like, playing in band. He was sleeping on a cot in one of the basements that I played in at one of my first bands. You know what I'm saying? That's how long we've known each other. You know what I mean? But this dude has so much knowledge of local music from when he was 13 all the way till he's got to be my age, 50, 53, 54, So he's embedded. Plus, you got the Root of All Evil's been around forever. You know what I mean? I'm kind of, we're very mirrored when it comes to, we both been around. We know a lot of fucking people from all over the place. You know what I mean? And it's great, and it's also kind of a curse too. You know what I mean? You see, I always hope that we can make a difference as a platform.
Being your parent.
Well, that too. Yes. Yeah. That's what I do on this podcast. It's pretty much the same thing on the podcast, dude. You know what I mean? I really, guys like us that have been doing it, playing in any facet for any amount of years, you have knowledge that can be passed forward, right?
But that's the way it was. Like, when I got in my very first band, we practiced right down the street from Tension. And Tension is the band that Marty Friedman came out of. And Tommy from Tension would come over to our band practices, and he would sit there and he would watch us. And when we were done, he would go, "Hey, you should do this, and what were you doing there?" And like you were talking about Dave Ellison.
Yeah.
But, on a lower scale.
Yeah.
And he's like, do this, do that, do this. And he totally coached us.
Yeah.
I had this buddy, Kevin, who was in a band called Rancid Decay, and he played bass, and he was super into the tape trading and all that. He knew everybody.
Yeah.
Like, he was super good buddies with Sacrifice, and he knew the guys in Slayer, and Kevin knew everybody. And he would do the same thing. He would it was like, it was almost like it was your job to, once you got to the point where you had to pour into somebody younger.
Yeah.
And you had to teach the guys coming up behind you.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel
And
like
that's-
people just think I'm full of shit. That's how I feel, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
You turned into Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, wah, wah,
pretty
wah,
much.
Wah, wah,
Well,
bass.
yeah,
Wah,
yeah,
wah,
yeah, yeah.
5150. Wah, wah, wah.
yeah, that's pretty much it, man. You know,
That's the kids' jobs, though. The kids, you gotta tell the adults where to shove it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But when they get a little
Anarchy.
older, they'll remember a little bit. Whatever leaks through that
Yeah.
facade, they'll remember it.
Yeah. It's. I think it's really important. I mean, as I've been getting up in age too, man. You know, I hit 53 2 weeks ago, and I feel
Happy
like.
birthday.
Thank you. I feel like that's my goal in life right now is just to pay whatever I can forward to whoever's wants to listen, you know, with the help of the bands that are living proof of it working. You know what I'm saying? That you're creating music, that you're constantly creating, that you're in a solid work environment with good dudes that you can create with. That is the pinnacle of it all. Like to find that cohesiveness between 4, 5, 3 to 6 guys or more or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like to hear the stories of how it's working for people, you know, whether it's, technology or whether it's, just being cool with each other. Cause there's so many bands that come in here and like say, it's more about the vibe than it is about anything. You know what I mean? Like you've got to work with that person on a constant. You're going to be in a van with them for however long. Even if you're doing Weekend Warrior stuff, as an older person, we know we don't get off the chains very often. And when we get off the chains, some people like to hoot it up. They get drunk or they do whatever and get out of hand. You know, a lot of times that becomes the problem. Dude, we're out for 2 days and you're wasted. You know what I mean? Or can't function. You
Don't
know?
make me Kevin DeBro you.
Right? Or fucking leave him on the side of the road.
Yeah. What was that dickhead that his band did that to him a couple months ago?
Yeah, the vitriol dude.
Yeah.
Over the nose beers.
Yeah.
How many times that dude said that in his explanation over the whole thing? It's like, nose beers. Come on, brah. Let me see here. Favorite song that you guys play or favorite song that gets the best live response?
Do,
I
do-
got to have a cricket sound on my thing.
so do new and upcoming songs count, or do only?
No, he said live.
Well, that we played it in your basement.
That's not
Doesn't count.
So
That
you're
doesn't count.
excited for something new that you're
Oh,
building,
yeah,
huh?
new stuff's
Absolutely.
exciting.
Awesome.
Very exciting.
Absolutely, coming into the studio in February to lay down drums, and so really excited about that.
Or embrace the suck.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't suck as much as I
Working
used
title.
to.
Working title.
Working title.
Now explain to folks too, like, after the process of writing an album and playing it, and recording it and playing it live, how long is the space between time for the next album for you guys? What does that look like?
Right now, it's been pretty quick.
It's been pretty quick.
We've been trying to work up more material. We released an EP the beginning of this year.
Well, dial it back.
Well, yeah,
He and I did a demo together, end of 23.
24.
No,
wasn't it?
23.
23.
And then
Fuck you,
Jay
I'm old.
joined the band, and the three of us did an EP at the end of 24 and released it early 25 while we were in the studio recording the full-length album.
Oh, damn.
And now we've already written like 15 new songs, but we're going to take 8 and go back in the studio in February and record those.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, what he said.
I'm gonna back way up because Johnny Hawk said how. Let me see here. He says, "You guys rip. That
Thank
song was rad." And also, out of curiosity, where did you get your name from? I meant to ask
So-
that like in the beginning.
So I mentioned earlier that I wrote a novel called The Rune Master Shield Maiden's Blade, and it's kind of like a alternate reality Viking
You
story.
shall not pass. Oh, sorry.
Yes. So in it, there's a big Viking battle in a blizzard, and one of the chapters is called Blood in the Snow, and then it turned into Blood in the Frost, and then that turned into Red Winter, And then I went and I looked, and there was like a billion bands called Red Winter, and I was like, fuck that. So we changed it to Vinter. I used to hang out on message boards that Ola Englund used to hang out on before he blew up.
Yeah.
And he would always joke about it's Vinter. You have to say Vinter. This is Sweden, and Sweden is all about metal. It's Vinter.
Yeah.
So it became Red Vinter.
Nice. Awesome. That's a fucking great story. There you go, Johnny. There he goes. Let me see here. Void Gazer 21 says Red Vinter frickin' rips.
Thank you.
Let me see here. Keith Carlson, who does all the cool artwork for the Red Vinter releases?
So there is a comic book artist that I've worked with on comic book stuff named Sergio Ibanez, of all things.
Nice.
Great last name
Great
for a metal band.
Yeah.
So in between comic assignments, he does our album covers.
Very cool, dude.
Is his middle name Mesa Boogie?
No, because then he'd be made of unobtainium and we couldn't afford him.
Hey, Keith, thanks for joining the show, man. I appreciate you jumping in the chat too, man. What a cool guy. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out, well, let's see here. We Rock the Twin Cities. It's actually a local couple guys that wrote a book.
Oh, sweet.
And it has a lot of history, and it has a lot of those bands that like Cobra Czar's in there, attached to one of my bands in there, and then there's so many people. Like it popped up. Josh Kellerman popped it up and was showing it, and I was like, "Oh, that's super cool." Shot the link. I bought the book. I start looking in there. One guy says, don't worry, dude, you're not in it. I already looked, and I'm like, I told him, I'm like, it don't really matter. I just think it's super cool that somebody, from this point, late 80s to almost 2000 of so many local bands, from like hair metal bands to thrash to death to, all these, it's just a gambit of bands.
That's killer.
That one bouncer and his son, and like all these stories, dude, it was a great podcast. They were fantastic guests, man. There were so many cool ideas, and they're writing a second book and they're gonna fix, they said they had made some errors in bands, and who do you talk to when, bands from 20 years ago, half of them are, there's guys that are dead. They were talking about guys that had passed on and friends that amazing. Anyway, but We Rock the Twin Cities. You can get that at No Name, and I think Electric Fetus. I don't know if they have it at Cheapo. Down in the Valley is another one that they have it at. But it's a very thin book. Has a lot of musical history of the Twin Cities in there as well.
Sweet.
So yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. That's just how it works, I guess. It's fucking
Squirrel.
yes. Are there any songs that you guys have written that you don't play live?
Yes.
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 How many?
A few.
Quite a
bit.
few. Yeah.
Now is that just as you're putting them together and you can pull them off if you are able to piece it, or is it a little too intense to play?
A couple of them we don't play, like some of the really early ones. Like we played it at first and we don't play anymore.
Gotcha.
There's an instrumental on the demo that we've never played live. Basically because it's an instrumental and you don't pull off instrumentals live unless you're like Metallica huge.
Bong Ripper is nothing but instrumentals.
Cymothwa, dude. Cymothwa's all instrumental, and they're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, we're not amazing. We're Cymothwa. So there's a couple of songs on, like we have kind of retired some songs as we've added new songs in. That song Escape Velocity, we're not going to play that live. We kind of went into that song with the concept of it's a headphone song. Like sit back in the corner with your favorite whatever,
What was the last part of the song that you were talking about? I don't know if you got that
So
on
we-
air or whether
we-
you just said it off of here.
We pulled a sound clip from a NASA stream where they took the radio background noise from the universe and they had to run it up like 1,000 octaves to bring it up into audible human range, and then they put it out. And so we took that and we used that. That's at the very end of the song. That
That's
all that
rad,
low end
dude.
and then we just built a outro to the song on top of it.
That's sick.
So
Very cool. You should just use that in something,
so we took
live
it.
stuff.
The spoiler alert: the next album's going to begin with the second part of that. So,
Nice.
And it's
Embrace the suck, right?
yeah. Embrace the
Working
suck.
name.
Yes,
Got
yes,
it.
yes. Smell the glove was taken. So.
It's funny you made that joke just the other day. Smell the glove. I was like, huh? And then I was like, sorry, dude. Just got done watching fucking Spinal
Spinal
Tap.
Tap.
It's fantastic, man. Let's see here. right. Or gets blasted doing the interview. What is that? I missed something there. Red Vinter fucking rips or gets blasted during the interview. I don't know. Sorry.
Need
Here's
context.
the chat. Sometimes they're delayed a little bit, so we'll be far past the conversation if they don't reference it. I'm kind of like, okay, yes. Let me see here. Johnny Hawk says, is Red Desert still playing in the CDs? I believe they're actually writing right now. I actually reached out to those guys a few months ago about doing a show with Rust Bucket and a couple other bands, and I wanted to do it on Black Friday. Did I ask you about that show? I think I may have asked you about that show.
Kellerman got us a show with Rust Bucket back in, was that September?
Maybe that.
October?
I think you and I were talking about that band, and somehow Tom came up. There's something in there where I ended up reaching out to those guys anyway. I was trying to book those guys, so I know that Red Desert is actually writing right now, and they should be releasing something cool. Have you guys played with those guys yet? Oh my God, have you heard those guys? Red Desert, have you heard them?
No.
I've heard of them. I haven't heard them.
Oh, dude.
I'm busy taking in Rust Bucket. Those guys are awesome.
If you like those guys, you'll love Red Desert. They're fucking amazing. You should just find another band with red in their name, and you guys should all do a red show.
Just have a red bill.
Yep, red room. Just call it the Red Room. You know
The
what I
plain
mean?
old band Red can headline, and that way we actually
Wow.
get the show up.
There you go, dude. That's it. Let me see here. Like I did when Joe and I were on. Yes, very well. Yes, you're probably right on that one. I'm not sure what you're talking about either. All right. Are there any bands in the local scene that you guys are really wanting to play with? Is there?
Sabat, but they broke up.
Oh, that sucks. How long ago?
They did their quote unquote last show 2 years ago, and then they played another secret show at Flying V.
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 months ago.
Have you played Flying V yet? It's just like a coffee house in here or something.
I
But
think
they,
it's
they
really
do
cool.
they do serve beer there though. I thought, don't they?
No. I think it's all ages.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought.
I know, like Matt McGee that works at the Shred Den knows the guys in Sabat, and every time I talk to him, I'm like, tell them guys to get back together. We want to play a show with them.
Right.
So
And does he do this?
he's like, they all got different things going on. And da, 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 da.
They're all touring. They're all
He
doing.
gets out
shit.
the whiteboard and draws a dick and points at me. And
Hell yeah, dude. That's it for sure, man. Now, can you get any other bands that you guys can think of that you're like
Not off the
kind of
top.
pining to play with?
Kicking the dead horse, Cobras are.
There you go. That'd be a sick to get on any show
I
with them
want-
dudes. Those
yes.
guys,
Yeah, they're
those guys
bad.
rip. They're hard to get a hold of too. That's makes it even more intriguing to play with them, dude. It's because one of the dudes, I think Mikey is one of the guys from Blue Ox. They were the same way. Great fucking band, but they were the worst to get hold. You had to like send smoke signals. Somebody knew somebody who was like, yeah, I drank with them the other night. I'll get a hold of them. And then you get a call like 3 weeks later, and they're going, yeah, we totally play. I already filled the spot, but if you want to jump on, yeah, we'll play. You know what I mean? They just jump on for the hell of it and just
call this
crush.
payphone outside the Shell station, and somebody will get back to you.
Yeah. You calling for Blue Ox? I'll let him know. You know what I mean? He's got to go to the dude's house just to let him know. Who is it? You guys want to play a show? Sure. He runs to the payphone. They said cool. What time do they need to be there? Yeah, that was Blue Ox for sure, dude. That was it. Name of the show: Paint on Your Back Porch, red. Oh, and that was the Void Gazers, Matt Parkins, by the way. That's why I'm so confused. He said, like he did when he was on the show, as you progressively got drunker, Matt, is that what you're talking about?
I remember that show.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I love it because he razzed Rob the whole time talking, you know. He pumped Capital the whole time he was out here. Oh, I hope it don't piss him off. Capital Guitars, you know. He run the address again. It was just hilarious.
I was trying
love
to
you,
figure out
Matt.
which one was going to fall over first, him or Joe.
That's funny. I love you, Matt. He's awesome.
He's
man.
awesome.
All right, we'll push your show one more time here too. That is January 11th, which is very soon. Hey, like a week away, right?
Next Sunday.
Not
Wanderer,
this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Red Vinter in Costanini. It sounds like Panini to me. Costa Panini. Good luck. I don't
Hopefully
know.
they'll reach out and you can get them on.
They'll-
here, and then
they'll
they
be
can all
pissed.
Tell you
They
how to
can-
pronounce it.
Dude, get a hold of me, man. I'm booked out a little ways,
All
but
right.
if you want to be
Dylan,
on the,
call the
yeah.
Shell station.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
Ring, ring.
Yeah.
Send Big Al over there.
Yeah.
I don't have any quarters.
Live at Elm Creek Brewing Company, free all ages show, bar with ID. It says doors at 6 p.m. Music at 6:30. 11469 Marketplace Drive, North Champlin in Minnesota.
Isn't there some kind of legendary food?
Yeah, King of the Wing. We got a restaurant now in the tap room. They
Yeah.
have amazing food.
Nice.
They're doing great.
Just chicken? Or
They,
what do
well,
get?
they got great wings. You know, they make their own sauces. They got burgers. They got chicken.
Fantastic.
Chicken sandwiches.
Look at that,
everything.
He's just pushing these guys.
So-
They better give you a free sandwich.
they-
Come hungry for food and metal.
Right. And beer.
Dude, they give us brewers free lunch, so I have to push them.
Nice. Very cool. So you get good grub all the time from them, man. That's
It's
fantastic.
amazing.
Folks, make sure you go check it out. I have one question that always messes with people. All right. Dream Bill. If you guys could set up a show, nationals, that you guys could play on, what would be a dream bill for you guys? 4 bands tops.
The four of us wouldn't agree.
Nope.
No.
And it could be, that's why we can go around the table and you can throw them out there, man. It's just like it's a solid 4 band bill that you would love to play with.
Oh,
Not Dio. He's dead.
we would play that we would
I would
play
love to
with
play
or
with
that we would
Paradise
watch.
Lost.
There you go. Was that?
That someone that like Red Vinter would play with
Yeah.
alongside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotta
Paradise
think.
Lost.
There you go. That's a good one. There's one.
Asphyx.
There you go. That's 2. Dude, Martin Van Drunen. That early, that consuming impulse
Oh yeah.
pestilence.
That's one of my favorite
Oh,
albums
my
of all
God,
time.
dude.
Look through my list
See?
again.
Yeah, there you go. You better start looking.
I'll just bring one up because it's one of my old influences, and I love this band, Overkill.
There you go.
Ooh.
They're
Great.
coming with
Wow.
Testament.
I know they are.
That's going to be a good one, man.
really
That's
wanna
going to
see
be a
that
great
show.
show, man.
Somebody's gonna get whiplash from the speed change. If we're up there playing 54 BPM songs and then Overkill comes up there, somebody's
Yeah,
gonna
that
get
does.
whiplash as
One
you,
of these
as you
things is not like the
accelerate.
others.
Dude, still though, man, that's the best part about it. man.
Paradise Lost and Overkill headlining tour. That would be interesting.
That would be sick. Nice middle mix up. That's a good mix, actually.
And
Doomy,
if you're going to
deathy.
dream, then the real headliner needs to be Bolt Thrower.
There you go. Oh,
Good pull.
now that's good doom death right there,
Yes.
dude. You know what that is? Just that's a good.
That
That's
grim dark, grim
Heavy,
death.
dude.
Yeah.
Everybody can pay homage to the goddess of Joe Bench.
dude. Baphomet. Do you ever remember Baphomet from back in the day? That was the bolt thrower type shit. I
You heard
remember-
Chainsword?
Uh-uh.
They're a band out of Poland. They're new.
Chainsword?
Chainsword. They are as close as you're going to get to modern Bolt Thrower.
Oh shit!
There's
War-
some songs
Warhammer
that,
vibes.
that really sound like
What
they
was
were,
that
came
spoon
right off
band
some
that
of
you
them.
said?
No spoon.
No spoon. All right, gotcha. Make sure I write those down. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off. You said they're like old bolt thrower.
Well, some of their stuff sounds like a modern version of
Oh.
like pulled right off the last couple Bolt Thrower albums.
Damn. You hear that, Brian Owens? Damn you. I'll have to play that and think about you, buddy. He's a huge Brian
Yeah.
Owens was a huge bolt thrower fan since we were kids.
Cross was awesome.
So I'll throw out a couple of here
Yeah.
that we've actually had some comparisons to. And so I would say if we could have a bill with Godflesh and Church of Misery.
That's sick.
Yeah.
that would
So
be good.
we've had some people say, "Oh, that sounds like this era of Godflesh, or that sounds like this part of Church of Misery." You put all of those together, maybe too much of the same thing. I don't know, but it would be pretty sweet to share a stage
That would
with.
be a
with
drone thing, right? Just crunching. God, Flesh was great, dude. I seen him on Street Cleaner, dude. Oh, my
yeah.
God,
That's a
dude.
killer album.
Like rats. That's fucking amazing. Oh, Justin Broderick's great. I love that dude. That's the Fear Factory tune, Dog Day Sunrise or Sunrise? Yeah, Dog Day Sunrise. He wrote that song. That's his original. That's one of my favorite Fear Factory tunes. I didn't know that for fucking ever. The original's really cool too. Really droney and slow, and Justin Broderick's killer. I love it. Any other additions? Did you look on your list? Did you have anything?
I remember Wasteland Coven. We were talking
Yeah,
about. That
yeah.
would be cool.
Yeah, they're out of Toledo,
Ohio.
Ohio. And Susan, their singer, is the one who sings backups on Escape Velocity.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I was going to
She's
ask about
amazing.
that. Like, how did you guys hook that deal up? Is it you're friends with some of them cats or what?
So it's really weird. Susan and I have a whole ton of same friends across all kinds of different stages of life.
Mhm.
Like, she knows a lot of my author buddy friends, and she also knows a lot of the musician friends. She's friends with the folks in Living Through Ghosts, and like we ended up connecting on Facebook, and we needed a singer who could sound angelic for that part of the song, and she was the immediate like, oh, this has got to be Susan.
Yeah, she does some cool stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of killer singers that could do great backup, but she was just the perfect one for that song. So I reached out to her, and she was like, yes. And I was like, yes. so first I was like, yeah, she's going to be like, no, go away. You know?
She was hip to it, huh?
Yeah, she was.
That's fantastic, man. You gotta love
Amazing
that.
singer.
Well, and I think that may be one of the reasons why that song hasn't been played live yet, is because the lack of those vocals would
Yeah.
be it's a really big part of that song in my opinion, and not having a way to reproduce that.
You just push play.
Harder than you think.
You're the drummer, bro. You just fucking give it a little whack. A little midi whack.
Or
Little whack.
we give all our money to Felicia Ray from Living Through Ghosts and have her do it.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Right, man. She'll be doing these parts, you know. I mean, rip it. Why not, man? Play it hard. That's a killer song, man. It's a great song. Speaking of songs, final song, Ashes. Tell me about it.
I'll let you tell them about it.
No.
So really, the song is about, you know, life burns you to the ground, and but you got to get up, and you got to, you know, it's that old, you know, cliched thing. Like, as many times as you get knocked down, you got to get up one more time.
Yeah.
You know, if you get knocked down 100 times, you better get up 101 times, and that's really what that song is about.
Is that how everybody feels here? Or what?
Burn down your village, rebuild the village.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't just take it. You got to get up and fight back.
Right. Yeah.
Don't be a victim.
That is a serious life lesson right there, man. If not, you know what I mean? Like, you can't always cry about it, you know.
Well, you can, but nobody wants to hear that shit.
My buddy, I have a buddy who really like laid it out there for one of his kids one time. You know what I mean? He's like, you can sit here and cry all you want. It doesn't change anything. You got to get up and make the change. And I was like, damn, that was heavy for that kid to hear that from the dad, dude. He was like, I'm listening to you cry. Like, he just put an end to it. Like, you're wasting your time right now. Your energy is being wasted on sorrow. Like,
Absolutely.
put it to bed, move on, get up, dust off, keep moving, man.
Yeah, I heard somebody one time say, what happens to you doesn't define you. How you react to what happens to you is what defines you.
Fucking A.
So if you're going to sit there and be a crybaby, then guess what? You're a crybaby.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that.
Yeah. The victim
victim.
syndrome that everybody seems to have these days a whole
Yeah, that
lot.
sucks. That
You
sucks.
know? It's your fault, man. You know, I wish I could. I wish I could. You can. Just get
I'm
off
the
your
drummer.
ass.
It's always my fault.
You know what's crazy though is you know, if they rewind it, you're a guy that like played the instrument and found the one that you wanted to play. You know what I mean? That's the hardest one in an older age. That should be inspiration for anybody watching this fucking podcast. If you have an inspiration to want to do it and play a fucking instrument, you can at any age. By any means necessary, just do it, man. It doesn't, you know, it just
And
takes
he
focus.
we call him artillery because he sounds like it on stage.
Oh yeah,
Like he
You
hits
definitely
that
do,
snare
dude.
drum and it's like somebody
yeah.
dropped a freaking bomb behind me.
hell yeah.
You know?
That's always great to feel too,
Yes.
especially when you can't hear. I need more. Nope. Boom, 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 you know,
Oh,
dumping it.
The last gig we played, he didn't mic the snare, and it didn't matter.
Don't need to.
Yep, smashing it down. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in, man, doing the show. It's been
Hey,
a
we
great
appreciate you,
conversation,
man.
man.
Yeah,
I really
It's
do.
been a lot of fun.
I always like having great conversations with cool people, man. And you guys are definitely that. I appreciate your music, man. You guys are doing great things. I wish you the best. If they're when you guys are ready to release again, let me know. We'll book another deal and release some shit, talk some more shit. You know, have. Everybody always says, "Oh, I forgot to say that on there." Or, you know, you always think of great stories that you can tell, or you know what I mean. If you're reserved at any time or anything, You're welcome back, man. It's always good to hear more stories and, save up some good ones. I'm sure there's, it always happens, man. Damn, I forgot about that one. And, speaking of Reek being Asmodee, I always give them a hard time as their bass player at one time. I said, any weird touring stories, anything like that? Werewolf. And I went, what? And they all went, they looked at dude like, no, don't do it. He's like, yeah, we were hanging out with this guy. And he's like, he said he was thousands of years old and we started making fun of him. And he got out, jumped off the thing and he started punching their fucking trailer. And he's like, whoa, what the hell, man? And he's like, I could change it to a full werewolf or some shit. Like they told the whole story. So every time they come on, I'm like, no werewolf stories or nothing. And they're always like, oh, like gonna have this dude show up at some show, saying he's gonna fucking bite their arms off or some shit. But thank you guys for coming on and doing the show. Any you guys want to push anything? Say what's up to anybody? Thank you to anyone?
I think we already did.
Good.
Oh, and we got to shout out to. So we've got the most awesome group of ladies in our lives, and they take care of our merch at our shows, and they do all that stuff. And they started their own little group. It's called the Vinter Vitches.
Nice.
And so we want to shout out to the Vinter Vitches.
Oh, very
awesome.
cool, man. Very cool.
They let us do what we do, and they put up with us, and they encourage us, and they listen to Dylan bend notes all night long, and James beat on his drums, and me be crazy. And I don't know what happens at Jay's house because nobody wants to talk about that, but.
Big shout outs to all the ladies,
Yes.
to all the musicians, man, for putting up with our shenanigans because we are some creative cuckoo birds, man. Fucking very little attentions. You know what I mean? But they seem to like they tame us a little bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to add is what you said earlier about, doing something later in life.
Yeah.
If you want to do something, you just don't be afraid. The first step at being good at something is sucking at it. So just go out there and do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're afraid. It doesn't matter if you're really self-critical and can never live up to your own expectations.
No clue what you're talking about.
None of that doesn't matter. You just go out there and do it because life is really short and you don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow. So just go do it. Just go suck at something
And
and
don't
then
give
keep
up.
doing it. Keep doing it, and eventually you will suck less.
Nice.
I read this thing years ago. The average human falls down 300 times learning how to walk. But you don't know any adults who never learned how to walk. But everybody you know has got some excuse of I tried to play guitar, or I tried to do this, or
Right.
I tried to do that, and I failed once, twice, 3 times, I gave up.
Right.
You're walking, so clearly you know how to not give up.
Right.
So pick the damn guitar back up.
Yeah. I know I'm going to play bass.
Pick up
after
the bass.
this.
Go home, play bass. Play bass.
Go home and play bass.
Pick it up.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And then you're going to send me pictures of what they all look like, and you're going to tell me that if you're not playing them, you're going to give them to me and I'll play them.
There we go, man. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to the chat for joining us, man. You guys kept us going here. Sorry you didn't get to everybody's comments and stuff. I do appreciate you guys joining us. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that other. What is it called now? X. It's called X now. Follow us on X and TikTok and all that other stuff.
give it to you.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, Jesus. I just wanted to start barking like you for a second. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Thank